Algebra Word Problems number 19. Write, solve business profit equations. A good business person needs to know how well their business is doing. One number that shows this is the percent of profit. It's the rate of profit. And profit is the difference between the selling price and the cost. Percent of profit is the ratio of profit compared to the cost. And we use two formulas. The selling price minus the cost is how much profit there is, and whatever the percent of profit is the profit divided by the cost. Well, a bakery got a cake order, and it cost $18.68 for the ingredients and decorations, and a bakery employee was paid $12 per hour to make the cake that took 5 hours to make. The owner of the bakery charged $80 for the cake because the competition with other bakeries. Maybe there were other bakeries that said, we can make it cheaper, so he charged $80 to stay competitive. Well, the selling price minus the cost is going to be his profit. So what was the profit? Well, the cost of the ingredients was $18.68, and the cost to pay his employee to make it was $60. So maybe he couldn't make it himself because he had to go downtown for licensing problems, or he had to, go to pick up the supplies or whatever. So he had one of his bakers do it. And now the cost of the cake ended up being $78.68, but he only charged $80 for it. He only made a $1.22 profit. Did he charge enough? Well, the $1.22 profit has to pay for his rent, electricity, gas, supplies, advertising, alarm and security, all the other employees' wages like the cashier and stuff, business licenses, phone, equipment repair, insurance for the building, miscellaneous expenses because he can't be open without insurance. So, did he charge enough? Well, his percent of profit is the profit divided by the cost. And if you divide the $1.22 by the cost, he only made a 1.5% profit. We moved the decimal point over 2 spaces so that we can move it over in the divisor. And after we do all of our math, we see he got 0.0155, and because a percentage is usually just 2 spaces, I stopped. So he made 0.015 profit, which is 1.5% profit. This bakery is going to close. If you added all of these up, let's say his rent was $2,000 a month for his storefront, and you added up all of his expenses, he probably has about $5,000 for rent, electric, phone, licensing, insurance, and everything, and supplies. And then he has to pay his employees' wages. If he has 2 people helping him bake and a cashier, it's probably going to be, and himself, it's probably going to be about $5,000 a month in wages, and that's not very high wages, is it? But that would be $10,000 a month just to break even. He would have to sell $10,000 worth of stuff a month. So if you divided it by days, by 30 days, he'd have to sell $333 of stuff a day just to stay open, just to break even. That's no profit. That means he just makes enough to pay the bills, and there's not a dollar left over. So he would have charged more each time. He might have had a profit and might have been able to stay open, right? So it's very, very important when you do the business equation, profit equation, that the business owner figures out the correct profit that he should charge. Sounds to me like this business is just too expensive to make it. His overhead is just too high. Poor bakery. All right, so we're going to go to the next topic, and I'll see you there.